morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. We're about that breaking cycles life. It's Wednesday. I have an exam tomorrow, the final one. Yeah, so you'll see this tomorrow, but it's Bible study time. Okay, and we're going to jump right into it. It is Genesis 47, and it doesn't have a subtitle. I think it's just a continuation from Jacob's journey to Egypt. That is last week's study. And then it has two other subtitles called Joseph Deals with the Famine, and then you have Joseph's Vow to Jacob. Okay, so we'll get into it. Let's read. It says, Then Joseph went and told Pharaoh and said, My father and my brothers, their flocks and their herds, and all that they possess have come from the land of Canaan, and indeed they are in the land of Goshen. And he took 5 men from among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh said to his brothers, What is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, Your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, We have come to dwell in the land because your servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Then Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, Your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Have your father and brothers dwell in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know any competent men among them, then make them chief herdsmen over my livestock. Then Joseph brought in his father Jacob and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed the Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to Jacob, How old are you? And Jacob said to Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Wow, few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. So Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph situated his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Then Joseph provided his brother with bread, his brothers, and all his father's household with bread, according to the number in their families. So the next subheading is Joseph deals with the famine. Now there was no bread in all of the land, for the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished because of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the grain which they bought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. So when the money failed in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money has failed. Then Joseph said, Give your livestock, and I will give you bread for your livestock if the money is gone. So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses, the flocks, the cattle of the herds, and for the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for all their livestock that year. When that year had ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, We will not hide from you, my lord, that our money is gone. My lord also has our herds of livestock. There is nothing left in the sight of my lord but our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before our eyes? Both we and our land, buy us and our land. Um, Buy us and our land will be Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants of Pharaoh. Give us seed that that give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land may not be desolate. Then Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For every man of the Egyptians sold his field because the famine was severe upon them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he moved them into the cities from one end of the borders of Egypt to the other end. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had rations allotted to them by Pharaoh, and they ate their rations which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore they did not sell their lands. And then Joseph said to the people, "Indeed, I have bought you and your land for this that then Joseph said to the people, "Indeed, I have bought you and your land this day for Pharaoh. Look, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the harvest that you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh, 4/5 shall be your own as seed for the field, and your food, and you, and for your food, and for those of your household, and as food for your little ones." So they said, "You have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants." And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt to this day that Pharaoh should have 1/5, except for the land of the priests only, which did not become Pharaoh's. Joseph's vow to Jacob. So Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions there, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the length of Jacob's life was 147 years. When the time drew near that Israel must die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, "Now, if I have found favor in your sight, please put your hand under my thigh and deal kindly and truly with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt, but let me lie with my fathers. You shall carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burial place." And he said, "I will do as you have said." Then he said, "Swear to me." And he swore to him. So Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed. Okay, so that is chapter 47. What for this chapter, honestly, um what I took from it, it's really just a continuum. So it's not really that much. It's just like passing the time in the story right now. But one thing that did um stand out for me in this chapter was when when um when Jacob mentioned his age. He was like 130 something, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow. God's promises really take long to come to pass. In the sense that some long, some not so long. It just depends on the promise. Right? Because imagine God promised Abraham to put to make many nations, many children from his lineage, right? And to see how he's developing is actually a very tiresome journey. And I remember I was scrolling through Instagram, or no, I was listening to a sermon, I think Michael Todd, and he was saying, if God were supposed to tell us every single thing that would happen to us, in regards to the journey that is associated with our promise, many of us would be like, never mind. Example A. Yes, I would. Okay, and it just goes to show that patience is very key for God. Like, whoa, imagine losing your son and then finding him after so many years. Like, whoa. And then seeing God use you as a tool to carry on the promise that was made to your grandfather, right? That's Jacob's grandfather, so Joseph's great grand. Whoa. So that's what I'm saying. If you are, waiting on God, be patient. Sound like my friend. She's like, "Shall you be patient?" Yeah. If you're waiting for God, waiting on God, be patient. Sometimes it doesn't happen at the time you want it. I know that sounds cliche, but unfortunately, it is the truth. Yeah, be patient and just serve Him in the meantime, right? and to see how God literally blessed them. And this part where Joseph deals with the famine, that subsection, you can see how he implemented the tithing system in a foreign land. And that is another thing that we should learn. Be so in tune with God that when God blesses you in a foreign land, you use the tools that He has blessed you with, that He has taught you in your that He has taught you in His church, to literally bless those around you, right? He taught you those things for a reason, so that when He placed you in a certain position, that when the time is right, you use the knowledge, His knowledge, to bless people that don't believe in Him, so that they can have the opportunity to believe in Him, right? And I'm pretty sure having Pharaoh here looking on and seeing him be so diligent and so excellent in his work, it's like, wow, who is the who is the God of this man, right? He implemented the tithing system in Egypt, and as it said in the chapter, it's still there up to this day. So after those people sold their land and he gave them seed to sow, he said, okay, you need to bring back 1/5 of your earnings, basically, whatever you harvest, to Pharaoh. And that's the tithing system. That is the tithing system that was implemented from the Jewish God in this sense, or Abraham's God in this sense, and was brought into a foreign land. And that is how we spread the gospel of Christ. To be honest, it's not necessarily just going out there and preaching, but it's living it, right? And implementing the tools that He has given us in very small ways that will make a great difference. So take note of that. And it ends with Jacob not wanting to die in or Israel not wanting to die in Egypt. I'm not sure why, but he wants to die with his people. Oh boy. Yeah. So not really much today from my side. If you have heard anything or if you understand anything, please comment below. I'm sorry guys, I'm literally tired when you've been up studying slash talking. Yeah. Um, but main lesson, be patient, and second, learn the principles of God so that you can use it in wherever He placed you, to bless others that don't believe so that they can believe. Simple. Really not that hard. Alright, so that is our story for this week, our Bible study. And I'll see you on Sunday for Sunday Song Spotlight, guys. Bye bye. Have a great day. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's encouragement, and I hope you guys are ready for the day ahead. Now do me a favor and press that like button and subscribe button if you are new, so that we can get more of this positive Christian content out into the world, okay? And I'll link my daily devotional playlist right here and my Let's Talk playlist if you want to tackle some social issues, okay? So have a great day guys. Bye bye.